Hey everybody, welcome to another video here on the 67 Stang channel. So if you watched the last video, you will know that we got the window in the car, we have the vent window in the car, we got all of the weather stripping for the belt lines put back in, we got the vent window weather stripping in. So we're going to continue to work on the weather stripping here today. We're going to focus on, I guess, this roof line, I don't know what you call it, this weather stripping up here on the top. But before we get into that, I want to show you something else I've done that I did without recording it. So with that, let's step on in here and take a look, shall we? Okay, so first I'm going to apologize again for the fan noise, but it is summer in Georgia, and well, it's just friggin' hot. So, you may notice that I've gotten the, the weather stripping back in here on the door. So from up here, I've got this piece put back on there. So I went ahead and put this piece on. Got it on, and I'll talk a little bit more about how I did that in just a moment. But the other part I did, I'm going to get down here under the door, which you can already kind of see, is I worked on, I need to clean up some of that glue, but I worked on getting this part, let's see, get my down here all painted. So I got underneath the door all cleared up and taken care of, so that was a good thing with that. So very happy to see that all that was very rusty and whatnot. And it looks like I need to get some more adhesive in and get that back up in there. That's slipping out. Okay. So anyway, you can see that's back up in there. So we got that put on. And a little touch up on some of the adhesive I got to work on, but that's fine. I can do that. No problems. See, it comes all the way around and fits in here with this. So there's this piece that was giving me such a fit on the vent window here, so we got it in, so we got this done. So now let's focus on this piece right up under here, shall we? So not a lot I've found on how to do this. Well, before I do that, I told you I was going to. So basically I put this on, this around the door weather stripping, very similar to what we did with the trunk seal. This is one piece that goes all the way around the door from that side around the bottom up to over there where I was showing you. And really there's supposed to be a clip. So I ordered one of these clips, there's a package CJ Pony Parts has. It's supposed to go in somewhere about where my finger is. Well, I couldn't get that sucker in there. I'm still going to work on that maybe, but anyway, so I just got some adhesive up here. I might be able to put a screw in there. There is a hole in the door for that. I was very happy to see that this part of the door on the passenger side was not as bad as the driver's door, where we have some rust holes in it. So we're going to take care of that. Like I said, and then I just again ran adhesive around trying to fit the back of this piece is kind of V-shaped, right? So it's kind of like this. So I just pushed that V shape back into the side of the door here, this back part of the door, and then the black part here, and made it fit in there. And that seems to work pretty well. And then you just run it around. Now I saw some people online posting that the one they had gotten seemed a bit long. Meaning by the time they got around the door, it was a little bit too far up here or a little too far up there. So I didn't have that problem. Mine fit pretty well, as you can see. But what I did, just in case I did that, I got ahead and got this side all the way down around until I started getting into this curve. Then I basically positioned and started this where I needed it to start. It probably could have come up a little further here if I wanted it to, but anyway, started this up here, got it coming down around, and then I just ran along the bottom part of the door. Now my thought was, if I had a big gap, if I had a bulge, something, I would just cut it to fit, and then I'd just have a seam down at the bottom of the door, which no one would see. I don't think it'd be any worse than how the trunk was done. The trunk, we had to cut it to fit there. So in my mind, that was just as good. So I'm not too horribly worried about it. But anyway, so let's get back to this. So what we're going to do here with this, now there is, I'm not sure you can see it, but there is a screw down here with a metal tab. So I'm going to unscrew that. And then if this is like every other weather stripping of the car, this should just be glued in. I think there's a channel. Now, one thing I didn't notice until looking closely, but you'll see there's like this stainless steel or chrome metal piece right here. So there's something there. And from what I've seen, there is a channel in this. So I'm going to start by unscrewing this here and just trying to pull this out. And I think that's going to work. So let's get in. I'll try to set up in a place where you can see me do this, see if it works, and then we'll go from there. Get in here to the screw. Let's see. Okay, so we got the screw out, big flat head on it. I'll clean that up. And now I'm going to stick it in this baggie here so I don't easily lose it. Now, very little adhesive was used on this. It's just pulling out. Oh, gotta roll the back window down. Okay. Wow, that was easier than I thought. So what I can tell is, and I'll bring y'all over here to see this a bit more, but there is this channel here. And it looks like they use very little adhesive. It looks like just a touch was run up along some of the edges. Let me bring you in closer here to take a look so you can see more what I'm talking about. Now I'll just throw that down there. Okay, so get up here. So you can see this is that stainless channel. It's just held in by these big flat screws, just like was used to hold in down here. This is where that screw I pulled out of. Looks like I've got some rust in here I probably need to look at and take care of, but anyway. But you can see, sorry, that there's just a little bit of adhesive running up in this side of the channel, and the same thing on this side, but not a lot. Most of it looks like that rubber was just primarily running in that channel. Also notice these screws. Look how much that screw is sticking out, and look at how that one is. It just tells you how quickly they put some of that in there. But that's kind of neat. So what I'm going to do now is go get the new one out, compare it to the old one, and see how that goes. And I'm going to figure out about treating some of this rust up here, take a closer look at it too. Okay, I'm going to compare the original, which I have here, with this new one. I think I got this from CJ Pony Parts. It could have been National Parts Depot. I honestly don't remember. But this is Daniel Carpenter Mustang Restoration Parts. You can see there's the number if you're interested. So we're going to open this up and try to compare the original to the reproduction. Now this includes both sides, passenger and driver's side. So I should have two of these in here, which I do. See the two of them. flip these around. So let's check. So let's see what we got for differences here. We're going to start at the end that goes up near the front of the door. I wonder if these are, and they might be, side specific. They are. Okay, so first thing, the other two in here, but they're side specific from what I can tell. So this one here, because it's got this kind of here, is for the passenger side. So this is the passenger side. Let's move the other one out of the way. There we go. Okay. So let's start looking at it. Looking from the bottom. Okay, so some immediate things I noticed that are different. Notice that this is textured under here while this is smooth. Now I don't know if that's just because it's 50 years old plus or whatnot. The other thing I'm noticing is that it looks like, and this could just be from the compression, I'm not sure how well you can see this, but this part here seems to be much longer than this part here. Also trying to compare, it looks like these are about the same. I will also notice that when I'm comparing, okay, let's see, let's maybe if I do it this way, this part here seems much shorter than this part on the original. So this hump right here seems to be short. Now again, this has been on the car and compressed for 50 whatever years, right? This hasn't, so it's possible that the compression has smushed this out and stretched it some. Could be, I don't know. But I'm just trying to note these things. Okay. Let's look at it from the side that faces out and seals up to the window. Yeah, it's just amazing how much more compliant and soft and malleable, whatever, this is to the original. And this isn't as bad. The trunk stuff just fell apart in my hands, as did this hood seal that I did. But this is not as bad. And maybe because it was up like this, it didn't get as much direct sun or elements hitting it, but overall pretty good. Let's see here if I can do it, because I need to lay this one out a little bit to get it straightened. Lengthwise, okay, lengthwise looks pretty darn close to the original, so that's good. I shouldn't have to cut anything, so that's extremely good. What I do think I'm going to do is try to flatten this out a bit before I try to put it in the car. I think that's going to help. I did not do that on the seal I was just showing you on the door. I just tried to put it on out of the packet, and that I think was probably not the smartest thing. I should have probably laid this out. So I'm going to lay this out here. I'll probably lay it on the back of my truck over there and try to use some of my dive weights or something to kind of hold it flat, but let the sun and stuff try to flatten it out a little bit with that before I try to put it on the car. I think that's going to make my life easier. But I wonder how thick. Comparing the edges here. Okay. Now it does look like the edge that goes into that clip piece on the car, on the new one's a bit thicker here, which might be good, it might be bad. It might make it more of a pain to get it in the vehicle. Okay, so what I'm going to do, like I said, lay this out. I'm going to do some cleaning on the track. I may actually pull it off the car to clean it. I think that might be easier. Clean off the screws, paint them up, and then give this a chance to straighten itself out. So I'm not going to subject y'all to all that. We'll come back when I'm ready to put it on the car. Okay, so I thought I'd just jump in real quick because I'm getting ready. So what I want to point out, I'm sorry, I got stuff all over, is, okay, so this channel in here, which I did not know existed. Call me a bad Mustang owner, I don't know. But anyway, this channel has two kind of lips or grooves on it. There's one on this edge, and then there's actually, I guess you say, there's actually three. There's a back one and kind of a front one here. So based on what happened when I pulled the original off, there's two kind of lips on the new piece. And one is going to slide up under this groove, and one's going to slide up under this back groove. Okay? Now I did find that this piece actually does have some sort of weather stripping behind it. It seems good enough for me. It's under the drip rail. I'm not taking this off. If I have to be perfectly honest, I'm scared if I do, I might find rust and stuff, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to pretend that I checked and everything was okay. You know, I'll be Derek at Vice Grip, right? Anyway. So what I'm doing now is just, I'm going through, and this is where the adhesive was put in, was in these grooves up here. So I'm just trying to clean out as much of that old residue weather stripping. So for right now, I'm just kind of using a flat blade screwdriver to get the hard stuff off. Then I'm going to come back with some acetone probably and see what else I can just get cleaned up in there to get that out, right? So I've done that. While I'm doing all this, I have cleaned up. You can see one screw is still missing, but I've been cleaning up the screws, getting the rust off them. I probably should paint them, but again, it's going to be under weather stripping, so it should be okay. And given that they were 50-some years old and they were just had a little bit of light surface rust, I'm not too worried. So anyway, so while that's going on, there's the old weather stripping again. I've got back here laying on my truck bed the new weather stripping being held down, so, well, it was sunny, not too much so now, but laid down back here with the weights kind of holding it down, trying to straighten it out some because it was all curly-cued and stuff like that. So another good use for dive weights. I used them when I did the floor pans to help hold them in place, and now I'm using them for this. Might as well, because Lord knows I haven't been diving in forever. So anyway, when I get back to clean it up, just wanted to kind of run through that process. Also, there's my other camera. Oh, and there's the mic I got for it. I'm not using it right now because I'm using my phone to shoot this, but anyway, I'd be interested to see if you notice a difference between the audio quality since I've started using that or not. But anyway, back at the cleaning. Okay, folks, it's the next day, and you can't tell I changed shirts and whatnot, but we're ready to start putting in the weather stripping that goes along the roof edge here. So what I've done, as I said yesterday, earlier in the video, whatever, right, is I've gone through and I've cleaned this up. Again, I was kind of surprised. I didn't even know this was in here, that this either stainless or chrome piece was in here. I went through and I took all the screws out and cleaned those up. I didn't pull this out, as I mentioned, because there is a rubber piece underneath it, and I don't really want to separate that out and have to clean it because I don't have a replacement. But anyway, so I've gone and cleaned this out. So I started to clean it yesterday. I used a combination of steel wool, a wire, this brass wire brush, and kind of a flat blade screwdriver to scrape all of the old adhesive. And there wasn't a lot in there. They didn't use a lot in here. I've kind of started cheating. I did a little test fit on some of this back here with the new weather stripping. It snaps in place pretty easily, so don't know that I need to use a lot of adhesive. So I'm going to kind of follow that idea. And oh, the other part, I came back with a towel and some acetate or acetone to get even more of that old adhesive out, just cleaned up. And then this morning I came back and with just some rubbing alcohol and cleaned the channel once more, both the lip over here and the one over here and in the middle, And I did the same thing on the new weather stripping itself, just to get any oils and things off. So I'm going to put in a little bit of the weather strip adhesive. I'm going to probably start some down here, then some up around this corner here to make sure it holds in place. We'll see about up top, depending on how tight it is. I'm going to try to put some up here, and then as we come around. So I'm going to do a little bit. Now the instructions I got from CJ Pony Parts, which is where I did get this from, say, and I printed this off their website. Let me get to the page. So the page, the instructions also tell you how to take the old stuff off. So, but step 5 here says, starting at the rear and working forward, put in the new seal, pushing it inside the edge of the track, and apply 3M weather strip adhesive as you go. So that's what I've been using. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start here at the back, and hopefully by the time I get to the front it fits right. Doesn't, I'm not quite sure what I'll do. I'll deal with that if I have to. So we're going to go through with that. Let me get things set up so you can see it better. I'm going to get the adhesive out. What I'm going to use, somebody suggested using like a chopstick to get the adhesive up into these channels here. I don't have a chopstick, but what I'm going to do is take a plastic drinking straw, kind of flatten it out, and use that to spread the adhesive and push it up into those grooves. Right. So we're going to go ahead and get that going. I'm also going to go ahead and put it on the weather stripping kind of up to that point where I think it needs to be. Okay, apparently at some point the camera cut off. I don't know when. Anyway, what I was saying when it was cut off, I'm going to keep working at this. The hardest part is getting the back side of this into the channel appropriately. I'm going to keep fighting with it, and then go around the rest of it, let you know any lessons I learn as I go through and put in this roof rail weather stripping, and I'll bring you back when we're done. So I'm going to get back at it. Okay folks, so I've got the new roof weather stripping in, so it looks like it's fitting pretty good. A little tweaking back here where the rear window goes up, maybe. There we go. So we got that in place now. So tell you a couple of things that I learned. Okay, so if you're doing this by yourself, which a lot of us are, definitely using a piece as you're coming across, as you get places situated and you're moving forward, using a piece of painter's tape like I was doing to hold up the section where you kind of finished, and as you head into the next section, definitely works really good, helps keep it from sagging down. My little flattened out straw for helping to spread the adhesive up into the channels up here worked really well too, because I could spread it up into the channels and then take the excess and actually use it to spread it on the edge of the weather stripping to further help it. You know, you're supposed to put it on both sides, so take the excess, do that. Now, the other little part I learned of this is, at least with this part that I got from CJ's, that I told y'all was from Daniel Carpenter, I think that's right. A couple things I've noticed. One, it fits into this channel, at least in my channel, very well. I honestly think you could probably just go without adhesive for the most part, except for areas, say, around where it, got the curve here and the curve here, just to kind of hold it up, and then some in the middle here to just keep it from eventually sagging down, right? So I think I used too much adhesive, to be honest with you, and I've got some I'm gonna have to clean up that's on the chrome here, that I'll come back later and clean that up. I don't know what I'll use. I don't want to use acetone because I don't want to get it messing up the rubber here. Maybe some alcohol like I used before. But anyway, just you don't need a lot of adhesive. What I did also is I found getting it in this front channel here and then coming back and pushing it up in the back channel worked really well. And I think that the instructions, you know, if you actually take the time to read them, say much the same thing. Let's see. What does it say? Let me see. Yeah, pushing the, well, no, it says go to the inside edge, which I guess inside is inside the car, and then going to the outside. That's not the way I did it. I also was very skeptical about starting at the back when you had the screw you had to match up here. So, but I went ahead and followed directions. I lost man points, I know. But it all worked out pretty well. I'll admit it's a little bit long over here, but I think I started a little bit short on the back side. I think I could have pushed it down a little bit more there, but it's not bad. The fit is really, really nice. I'm pretty happy with it. So there we go. We got it put in there. Very happy. That now means we're done with most of the weather stripping on the passenger side. Right? We've got the roof line now. We've got the whole door redone there. So all that now leaves is the rear quarter. So I've got all the pieces for it. So it's going to be this piece here, and then the belt line strips, both inner and outer, here. This is already new. I've already done that. And my wife is now cranking my truck up to go somewhere. So let's give her a second. Okay, so where was I before the wife cranked up the truck? Probably didn't make any more noise than the fan, but regardless. Okay, so yeah, last thing we gotta do is this window on this side. So got all the pieces, all that to do that. I just gotta figure out how. This part I think should be fairly easy. From what I can tell, it just slides in the channel. It's held on the bottom by a screw. What I gotta figure out is the belt line here. If I gotta pull, you know, basically pull all of the inside out so I can get down if there's some sort of bump stop like there was on the main door window, to do that. Anyway, yeah, it's time for a later thing. So my next steps, I'm not going to show you because I've already kind of showed you, is now that the main weather stripping is in up here, well, I think I'll actually wait. I'll say to adjust the window. That's why I haven't bothered putting any of this in here. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and call a video. Hopefully I've enlightened you on a thing or two with this whole process. Pretty excited. So again, liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you like what's going on, you want to follow me as I continue to work on the Mustang, you know, please subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. We're almost to 300 subscribers. I think we're like at 298, which is kind of cool because I'm not, you know, really hard pushing it or anything. So I guess that's it, guys. Look forward to seeing y'all. Oh, I've got one more thing. Don't forget our merch store. Right, you can get shirts, not like this one, but like the one I had on the start of the video, as well as others. I've got a couple other designs up there. Make sure you check it out. The link for the merch store is in the description below. Everything you buy, not only do you get some cool piece of merchandise, a shirt, a mug, or whatever, but that goes right back into helping me on this car. Get tools, get parts, and all that kind of stuff, so I can keep moving forward. And I'm actually thinking, what do I do when I get done? Not that I'm close, I still have a lot of things to do, but what do I do? Anyway, we'll have to think about that one. Anyway, with that, again, guys, I'll see y'all in the next video.